Joining me now is Lawrence Roulston, President and CEO of Mountain Boy Minerals. Nice to see you, Lawrence.
Hey, great to be here, Mark.
So you've got a bunch of projects, 7 of them in the Golden Triangle in BC. All of them have seen previous work. Your main focus right now is Telegraph. So can you give us a sort of the broad strokes overview?
Well, yeah, when I got involved with Mountain Boy 3 or 4 years ago, it already had a big position in the Golden Triangle. And I could see what was happening in the Golden Triangle. I really wanted to get, basically just wanted to get my arms around as much real estate as I could up there. So we set off with a very deliberate strategy of looking at previous results and trying to identify areas that we thought were prospective. And we picked up, we're now one of the biggest property holders in the Triangle. We've got 7 projects, all of which have large scale potential. So the strategy's worked out very fine so far.
For sure. And then so with your secondary assets, you said that you'd like to reinvigorate conversations about possible joint ventures. So how are those discussions going?
Well, the discussions are going very, very well. You know, we started a year ago trying to bring partners into some of the projects. Over that period, over the last year, the markets were pretty awful, as we all know. A lot of companies were saying, yeah, we love your project, but we just can't raise the money on it. The markets are starting to come alive now. There's money out there. People are looking for projects. And we've had a lot of interest over the last few weeks here on the projects. And some discussions are fairly far advanced. So we expect news on that front very soon.
Very good. And one of the projects that you said you may take off the table as a possible JV is Southmore, because you got some assay results that you were quite happy with. So what was it that was impressive that you like about Southmore?
Well, Southmore is a copper prospect, and it's right in the heart of the Triangle. And we were in discussions on that one. People were interested. But then we just got last week some assay results from last field season. There were a lot of good copper numbers in there, but the numbers that really stood out were the gold numbers. We had 35 grams of gold, 29 grams of gold in a project that's primarily copper. So really exceptional gold grades in the system as well. So let's just say that the price is a lot more now than it was a couple of weeks ago.
Fair enough. So you may keep that to your chest for a while, unless a good number comes in.
Well, I think, and over the last week, we've had a lot of interest expressed in this project, and I think we'll do a deal on it, and we'll do it on better terms than we would have before we saw these latest results.
Now, you said that you're essentially hunting for elephants, looking for that big deposit. That's what gets you up in the morning. That's the dream. So can you elaborate on that?
Well, when I was doing the newsletter, that was my primary focus, is looking for projects that had big potential. And over the years I did the newsletter, I was successful many times in being the first to recognize projects that had big potential. And so when I went into Mountain Boy, it was the same objective. We're not interested in little discoveries. We want a big discovery. And the type of geology that we have on our main project, our Telegraph, is it's an alkalic porphyry. And the Cadia deposit in Australia, Newcrest flagship, is an alkalic porphyry. This type of porphyry is distinguished by having a lot more gold than a classic porphyry deposit. And the Cadia mine generated $1.2 billion of free cash flow for Newcrest in the 2021 fiscal year. So we're certainly excited by the possibility that Telegraph could be something like Acadia.
All right, so that's the goal. And now as far as the share structure, insiders own about 34% or so, and you've got some big names in there. We don't need to throw them around, but they obviously see something in Mountain Boy Minerals. What do you think the rest of the market may not be seeing at this point?
Well, you know, the latest big investor that came in, I've known this fellow forever, and you know, his background is geology. In fact, we were classmates in geology school together. And so when I told him what we had geologically, he got very excited, and he wrote a $1 million check personally. So it's people recognizing the geological merits of the project. That's really what gets the interest. You know, I've done a terrible job so far of, you know, getting the retail investors interested in the story. We focus primarily on the geology, and the geology is truly exciting. but it's harder to sell geology than it is the other aspects that go with the promotional push.
Right. Well, that's what we're doing here, and you've updated people and given them a lot of to think about. So thanks a lot for coming in, Lawrence.
I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to talking again.
Absolutely, we'll do that. Lawrence Roulston, he's the president and CEO of Mountain Boy Minerals.